Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome again to another painting tutorial. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy my painting videos. Today I'll be doing some koi fishes and I love painting kois. They're just very colorful and they're so simple, they're so easy to do. And I just love painting waters and also fishes. So a combination of fish in a pond would be great for today's painting because I'm just in the mood for that. So I'm using a 12 by 16 inch canvas, a stretch canvas. You can definitely use a different size of canvas. Any type of canvas, you can use even a canvas board. You can even use a canvas paper if you want. And even you can use a different shape canvas. You can use a circle, an oval, a triangle if you want. It doesn't really matter. It's just that I'm using this size because it's very easy to get your hands on from the store. It's very readily available. All right, so I'm gonna mention first the colors that I'll be using for today's painting tutorial, which will be listed in the description box below as well. So we have here lemon yellow, titanium white, Viridian. You can use your phthalo green as well. This is cerulean blue, crimson red, and vermilion, or you can use orange. Okay, so let's background first my canvas, and for the background, that would be the color of the water of the pond. So I'll be mixing my green and cerulean blue. Okay, then I'll be adding a tiny bit of vermilion just to tone the color down. Okay, the purpose is not to make it orange, but to just tone that bluish bluish colors, all right? So I'm just gonna start painting this area with that color. Again, just add tiny bit of vermilion. You can even use burnt sienna for that purpose of toning down the colors. It's just that I'm not gonna use my burnt sienna for this tutorial. That's why I just use my vermilion to tone down the colors. All right, my canvas is actually very, very absorbent and also not that wet. That's why the paint just is being, it's not very smooth when I apply it, but you can just add water so that, you know, it doesn't happen to you. You can tell that my canvas is very, very, a lot of tooth. It has a lot of tooth or teeth. Okay. I could have done the backgrounding um, without showing you the process, but since it is like one of the main parts of the painting, the water, it's not just a background color. It's actually it gives the setting of the painting. So I might as well show you how it's done. Besides, it's not just a plain bluish or turquoise color. We'll be adding a little bit of shading here. Okay, so you don't have to wait for the paint to dry before we do the next layering. I'm gonna get my white. Okay, I'm gonna get my white and I'm just gonna make some like um random applications of white. I'm adding more water this time. Okay. Okay, and then I'm gonna get back to my bluish colors. This time I'm just dabbing on some blue colors. Okay. And then my green color. Now I'm going to darken my green by adding red to that. Again, we don't want too much of the dark color or the red color here. It's more of a suggestion of depth. Okay. Okay, I'm going to get my white. And I'm going to create some little circles. Like swirls of white. Okay. All right. Just like that. It's very abstractish, but this will make sense later. For now, let's just allow these things, you know, to be there. Now I'm gonna make my paint quite watery. And I'm gonna apply some dots. Mm. They should not be of the same size, okay? There should be some small markings, big markings and small ones. And since I want to use my hands directly on my paintings, okay. Like that. I'm gonna get my white and I'm gonna brighten, okay, this part. I'm ever so slightly pressing on the canvas just to give it some sort of a blending effect. Because when you press too hard, you're not gonna get that blended colors effect. Okay. I'm just allowing the paints to create some sort of abstract image. Okay, I think this is perfect. Now I'm just gonna wait for that to dry a bit. And I'm gonna sketch now the koi, which is the main subject of this painting. Okay, I should have gotten my hair dryer so that it's completely dry and I can layer over it without worrying about smudging anything here. But I'm just gonna do my best to sketch the subject as carefully as possible without smudging my background watercolor. I mean, the background water. Okay. So I'm going to use my white to sketch the koi fish. So if I make a mistake, I'm just going to go ahead and paint over it. Don't worry too much about making a mistake because it's part of learning. So I'm going to draw two fishes today. Again, for sketching purposes, I'm going to use white and I'm going to lightly touch on my canvas because it's still wet and I don't want to ruin the background colors. All right. That's the first fish. And by the way, this will be a 3D looking thing. Okay. A 3D looking painting. So just wait for that part. When we do the shadowing, it will appear as if the fish the fishes are gonna pop out of the canvas, which is my favorite style. In this area, the centermost area of my canvas is really, really wet. So it's like a yin yang. Okay. Oops. I need to make it a little fat. Okay. This area is so wet. Okay. Okay. Now we're gonna add some fins. So I'm gonna sketch first the fin for this fish right here, just like that. And then the fin right here. Okay. I'm just coloring it with white because I'll be underpainting it again with some white, but again the paint is still dry. I mean, still wet, so I cannot just paint or layer over it without smudging anything. I'm just gonna color it with white. Okay, and then right here. Okay, and then right here. Okay, it's really, really wet. Okay, now I'm gonna get. Sorry, did I mention that I'll be using black? I forgot to mention that. I'm so sorry, but we'll be using black, okay, for graying purposes and also for the shadow. So I'm gonna underpaint first the fish. This first bit, this this first fish, because what do you call this? It's looking much drier compared to this one. So while waiting for this area to dry, I'm gonna do the first fish right here. So I'm gonna use my black, okay, to gray the underpainting. We don't want too much of a gray color. We just want some sort of like off-white color. So I'm gonna mix my white with my black right here, just to get that off-white color. Okay, and okay, that's really, really white. I'm gonna add more black. Okay, maybe this will do. And I'm just gonna underpaint the first fish with some gray colors. I can actually change my brush now, switch to a wider brush, but let's see if this can actually work for me. I think this can work. Mhm. I'm gonna gray even more this part. Okay, we want this side, okay, to be really gray. I mean, more gray because of dimension. Okay, we want this to be looking dimensional. That's why we're gonna gray the sides to suggest curve of the body of the fish. Okay, okay, more black. Mhm. I think I'm gonna just change my brush. It's not working for me that well. And now it's really, really wet. Okay, I should have really dried it. Okay, I'm gonna get my hair dryer just to dry it like perfectly. Okay, again, I'm just using gray before I get my hair dryer. Okay, all right. So give me like a minute before we proceed because I want to get my hair dryer. And it's very near here, my room. So I'm just gonna get my hair dryer just to dry things pretty quickly. I don't want to waste your time waiting for me to finish the painting. Okay, give me a minute. Just gonna plug it. You cannot see me, but so excuse the noise that will this will create. Okay, maybe I should just turn off my mic for a while I'm drying this one. Okay. And we're back. So it's pretty much dry now. So I'm just gonna have to correct some areas that I can see need that need correction. All right. So I'm just gonna use a white, pure white, right here. All right. Okay. I'm so excited, by the way. And again, this pure white right here, you see, it's so easy to paint over the sketch if the background colors are already dry. Um, I find it really challenging to do wet on wet. Sometimes I do it, okay, if it's the right way or the right method for a particular painting. But usually, okay, more often than not, I really like it when my painting or the underpainting is already dry before I proceed to layering it. Okay. Okay, so I'm just using pure white. This fish, this second one, is much more like on the bright side of things because the light is hitting this fish. Okay, so I'm just following as well. My brush strokes are following the shape of the fish. So if you see already that the fish is curving towards a certain direction, you follow that when you do your brush strokes. Okay. This is pure white. Just skip layering if you think that the paint is being absorbed, okay, by your canvas, just like mine. Okay, I'm gonna add more details. Right. All right. I love it. Okay, this is just the sketch. I mean, this is just the like preliminary steps. All right. Okay, now I'm gonna dab onto my black. Maybe I'm gonna use my angle brush. Okay, so I'm gonna dab onto my black. I'm gonna mix that with my blue here so that it's not pure black. If you've got Payne's Gray, that would be the perfect color. But Payne's Gray is just blue and black, by the way. So it's not too intense, but it's still dark. That would be perfect for shadowing purposes. So we're just gonna do a little bit of outline of the fishes to serve as the shadows. Okay. So I'm gonna start right here on the tail part. So I'm just gonna create some shadowing. Okay, that's the first one. Okay, and then right here, we are not going to outline each and every sides of the fish or the fishes, just a little bit of something for certain parts. Okay. Okay. And right here. Okay. That's the shadow for the first fish. Let's proceed to this fish. Okay. Okay. Just a little more shadowing right here on the left side. Okay, right here on the tail part. Let me see. See? So it does look like the fishes have shadows. So it's really nice. I love it. Okay, so now let's go back to the main subject, which is the fish. Okay, let's leave the shadows um, that way for now. We'll go back to that to add more detailing, but for now, you already know how it's going to look like. Okay, so now let's proceed to the markings on the fish's body. By the way, I forgot. I forgot. Sorry, to add a little bit of fin right here. I'm so sorry about that. I forgot. Just a little bit more. Okay. Okay. And then let's go back. So I'll be using some crimson. Okay, I'll be getting my crimson right here. I'll be adding a little bit of black so that it's dark red. Okay. I'll be adding a tiny bit of white just to make it more like pastel color. Let's start with red. So I'm gonna do first this part. So you can do some sort of like map like markings. You know how the map of the world look like? They're like blobs of paint. So it's the same thing. When you do the markings on the koi fish, just do a little bit of like map like shape. Okay, that's the first. And then I'm going to use the same color right here. Again, make your markings look more natural by not doing a specific shape. You don't, when I said map like, you don't want to do a map of your country. I mean, the way maps are drawn, like they're very like shapeless, very not symmetrical. Okay, it's the same thing. That's what I meant when I said map like. Okay. Now we want to wait for this to dry before we proceed to layering over it. Okay. And we're just gonna use the same color, but maybe I'm gonna use less black this time. Let's proceed to this area. Like that. Let me check. It's so good. Oh my gosh. It's so nice. I love it. Okay, now I'm gonna get my black. So using my black, I'm just gonna create some markings right on the tail of this fish. A little bit of detailing. It's not so much. Right here, also right here. And then using this black color, let's create some eyes. Okay. Gonna get my black and blue. Okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna wash my brush out. Okay. And I'm gonna use the vermilion color that I have here. This is for dimension purposes. We're gonna lighten some of the reds that you see here. And using my vermilion, I'm just gonna spread quite randomly on the red spots that you see here. Okay, you can add a little bit of white to your vermilion just to make it more visible. Okay, this area is still wet, I can tell. Okay, and right here. And also right here. Okay, very nice. I love it so much. Okay, I'm gonna get my yellow now. Okay, I want to mix it with my orangey color. And I'm gonna apply a little bit of that yellow orangey colors right here as well. Okay, like that. Okay, I'm gonna wash my brush out. Okay, now using some dark blue color. Okay, I'm just gonna outline the shape of the fish so that it doesn't look like it's pasted on the canvas. This will separate the fish completely from the water, making it, look more dimensional. So I'm just mixing my blue color and also the tail. I'm gonna mix my white and blue, and of course the black is still there. That's why it's gonna mute the color down. Let's just add a little bit of translucence to the tail portion. And also right here, a little bit of that color. Okay, perfect. And again, we need to outline it. Mhm. Okay, like that. Okay, we're gonna darken the sides so that it looks more dimensional. It already is looking dimensional, but we still want to add some sort of that detail. Oops, think I think I ruined um this part. Sorry. This is very, very simple. Again, your pure white right here. Okay. I need to get pure white because my white is already contaminated. So just get pure white, make sure that it does not mix with the other colors because we're trying to highlight here the fish. So pure white is the only color that we need. We don't want any of the other colors in our palette at the moment. Oops, I can see. Okay, like that. Now let's add details to the tail part of this fish. And then mix it with a little bit of blue, like gradient, like here. Okay, it's perfect. Okay. Now I'm gonna dab onto my blue right here. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of bluish colors on some parts of the fish. This will suggest translucence of some parts of the fish. Okay. I hope that makes sense. Notice how the fins of a fish, not necessarily koi fish, they are really translucent. Okay, meaning you can see through it. You can see through it. All right. Now using some light green color, meaning the green is mixed with white, let's outline again the shadow of each shadow part. Okay, like that. And then I'm just gonna water this down to create some water markings. Okay, to suggest movement in the waters. Okay, just like that. And then using some dark greenish color, we also want to add that to create some depth. You do this quite randomly, all right? You don't want to do this in a patterned way because it's going to look not natural at all. Okay. I want to get my yellow, I mean, and then I'm just going to add some sort of yellowish colors to give more life to my fishes. Okay. I'm going to wash my brush out. And let's do some more detailing. So I'm just using white here to highlight even more some areas. Okay. Okay, now I want to use some blue colors. I'm just gonna get my blue right here, and I'm gonna um, randomly spread this bluish colors, okay, on my water part. Okay, and then let me check it from the viewpoint of the camera. Oh, that's nice and very simple. So I'm just going to use my hair dryer. Again, I'm just going to silent my phone just for you to not hear the noise of the hair dryer. Okay, so now that it's dry, I can do a little more detailing. I mean, it's okay now, but I want to do a little more water effects. So I'm gonna get a clean brush, and then I'm gonna get a wider brush actually. So I'm gonna get a wider brush, and I'm gonna use some white. Okay, let's do a little bit of glazing technique here. So using white, let's water it down. Okay, using white. Actually, you can do away with this step, but I really want to do it. So using watered down white, like super watery. Okay, I'm just gonna go and color or glaze over some areas right here, just to make it look as if some parts of the fish are submerged in water. You don't have to do this step, but I want to do it. Okay. Oops, I did you see that? Like, um, I accidentally smudged it because even if I already use my hair dryer in drying this painting, um, the heat of the hair dryer would like melt the acrylic. That's why it's still wet. Okay. Yeah, but again, if you made a mistake, just like what happened to me? Just paint over it, just like what I did. So you see, some sort of water effects would suggest submerge areas of this painting. Okay? I really love it, by the way. I absolutely love that effect. We're not yet done because I was just cut by that red color, but I'm just going to do a little more glazing because I'm obsessed with playing with water effects. Okay, right there, a bit here. Okay, like that. And maybe right here. Okay, I absolutely love that effect. Mhm. Oh my gosh, this is so good. All right, I love it. And now I'm going to have to sign it because we're done. So for the signature, I'm just going to use my black since I have a lot of that color. And I'm going to sign maybe right here. Okay, and we're finished. So I hope you enjoy that one. It's just 1 hour painting session, and I absolutely love the painting. And I hope you enjoy that one. I hope you paint along with me. If you like this video, let me know in the comment section below. If you're painting with me, let me know in the comment section below. And see you in my next one. Have a lovely weekend, everyone. Today is Friday here, and I hope you enjoy and use your weekend productively. Have a great day, guys. Bye. Mm. 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 Love you.